They called him the Ghost, an assassin who could vanish into the night, leaving nothing but bodies in his wake. But in the summer of 1998, the hunter became the hunted. Someone tracked down America's most feared hitman and killed him with a precision so chilling that investigators began asking, who kills the killer? The streets of Baltimore, Maryland, had seen their share of blood. But when the body of Victor Crane, a notorious contract killer known in whispers as the Ghost, was discovered slumped in the back of a black sedan, the city fell silent. Crane was no ordinary victim. He was the man criminals hired when they wanted someone erased. A former Marine sniper turned assassin for hire, Crane had evaded capture for nearly 2 decades. Police knew his name, but never had enough evidence to bring him in. To many, he was a rumor, a story told in safe houses and interrogation rooms. And yet, there he was, dead. One clean shot to the head. No witnesses. No trace of the killer. The question wasn't just who killed him. It was why. Because killing Victor Crane wasn't just a crime. It was a message. Victor James Crane was born in 1964 in Philadelphia. His childhood was shaped by violence, an abusive father, a mother who disappeared when he was only 8, and long stretches in juvenile detention for assault. By 18, he enlisted in the Marine Corps, where his marksmanship quickly set him apart. In the military, Crane thrived. He was disciplined, deadly, and had an uncanny ability to blend into shadows. But after a dishonorable discharge in 1986, under circumstances still sealed by military records, he slipped off the grid. 2 years later, whispers began to spread in East Coast criminal circles. A new player was offering permanent solutions. Victims ranged from drug lords to politicians' mistresses, each one executed with surgical precision. Detectives started calling him the Ghost. By the mid-90s, Crane was believed to be linked to at least 23 contract killings across 6 states. None were ever proven. His clients ranged from mob bosses to corrupt businessmen. He was a killer who never missed and never got caught, until someone turned the tables. On June 14, 1998, a passerby called 911 after spotting a dark sedan idling on the edge of an abandoned shipping yard in Baltimore's Docklands. Inside, officers found Victor Crane. The scene was strange. His body was propped in the driver's seat, hands still gripping the steering wheel. He hadn't been robbed. His wallet, cash, and an expensive wristwatch were untouched. But what chilled detectives was the method of death. One shot, straight through the left eye. No struggle. No defensive wounds. Whoever killed Crane had been close enough to look him in the face and skilled enough to pull off a sniper's kill shot from only a few feet away. Detective Elena Torres, lead investigator, later described it. It wasn't rage. It wasn't random. This was professional. One assassin killing another. But why leave the body like that? Why not hide it? Whoever did this wanted us to find him. The Ghost was finally dead. But now came a darker mystery. Who was the assassin's killer? The FBI quickly joined local authorities. For years, they tried to pin Crane to multiple high-profile hits. His death opened the chance to trace his network. They started with Crane's known safe houses. In one, investigators found a notebook hidden beneath floorboards. Inside were coded entries, names, dates, and dollar amounts. It was a kill ledger. But one entry stood out. May 29, 1998, special contract. Client, Blackbird. Target, unknown. The last job Victor Crane ever accepted. Detectives dug deeper. Witnesses claimed Crane had been spotted 2 nights before his death meeting with a man in a dark trench coat at a downtown bar. The bartender remembered because Crane, usually cold and silent, looked shaken after the conversation. Phone records revealed another clue. A series of untraceable calls from a burner phone in Newark, New Jersey. The last call came only hours before Crane's body was found. It seemed clear. Crane had been lured into a trap. Theories exploded. Mob retaliation. Several mafia families had a motive. Crane was linked to hits that destabilized crime syndicates in Philadelphia and New York. Killing him could have been payback. Government black ops. Conspiracy theorists argued Crane was silenced because he knew too much. His Marine past, coupled with rumors of CIA contracts, fueled speculation. a rival assassin. The precision of the kills suggested another professional. Some believe Crane had crossed the line by taking a job meant for someone else. But one suspect drew more attention than the rest: Marcus Vale. Vale was a former partner turned rival. Once Crane's apprentice in the early 90s, Vale had broken off to run his own operations. Their falling out was violent, allegedly involving a double-cross contract in New Jersey. Rumors swirled that Crane once left Vale for dead. Now, years later, Vale was back in the wind, and Crane was dead. 6 months into the investigation, a breakthrough came from forensic analysis. The bullet that killed Crane wasn't just any round. It was a custom .308 cartridge, hand-loaded, with a rare type of powder only sold to military contractors. Detective Torres made a chilling realization. This wasn't just another hitman. This was someone with military training, someone like Crane himself. And then came the bombshell. DNA recovered from cigarette, but at the scene matched someone in the national database. Not Marcus Vale, not a mobster, not a government operative. The DNA belonged to Sarah Crane, Victor's daughter. Sarah Crane had been only 6 years old when her father disappeared from her life. Raised by foster families, she grew up believing he'd abandoned her. What she didn't know, at least not at first, was the truth. Her father hadn't just left. He'd killed her mother. Court records revealed a sealed domestic abuse case. In 1986, shortly before his dishonorable discharge, Victor Crane's wife filed a report accusing him of violent assaults. Weeks later, she vanished. Her body was never found. Sarah discovered the truth at age 27 while digging through adoption papers. Enraged, she tracked her father down, not as a lost parent to reunite with, but as a target. And Sarah wasn't just any daughter. She had followed in his footsteps, serving in the U.S. Army as a sniper during the Gulf War. When she pulled the trigger in June 1998, she wasn't just killing an assassin. She was delivering justice for her mother. In 1999, Sarah Crane was arrested in Arizona under a false identity. During interrogation, she admitted to the killing with a chilling calm. "He taught me how to shoot. He taught me how to disappear. He just never thought I'd use it on him." Her confession rocked the nation. Newspapers dubbed her the Assassin's Killer. At trial, prosecutors painted her as a cold-blooded murderer. But her defense argued it was long-delayed justice, an execution of a man the system could never catch. The jury deliberated for 3 days. The verdict: guilty of second-degree murder. Sarah was sentenced to 25 years in prison. To this day, she remains incarcerated, rarely giving interviews. In one letter to a journalist, she wrote, "I didn't kill him because he was an assassin. I killed him because he was my father." Victor Crane lived by the gun, selling death to the highest bidder. But in the end, his past caught up to him, not by a rival, not by the law, but by the daughter he had abandoned. The ghost had built a life of shadows. But when the truth came to light, it wasn't just his enemies who wanted him dead. It was blood. And so the question lingers: was Sarah Crane a murderer, or the only one who ever truly delivered justice? In the world of killers, there's always another gun waiting in the dark. But sometimes the deadliest shot comes from the one person you never see coming.